This is Matt Quitstor for Crazy Mo Guitar. We're here to check out a crazy 80s hairband shred lick. Stay tuned and be ready to sequence. Okay, it's time to rock. So basically we're looking at what's called a Dorian blues scale. A little bit of a hybrid pattern combining a Dorian mode and a minor pentatonic scale. Here's the shape. So we're going to be on A to start off, 5th fret, and it's going to start off just like a minor pentatonic. So first finger to pinky, 5th fret to 8th fret. Then we have a little chromatic walk here, 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret. So first finger, second finger, third finger on the A string. Then we move to the D string. It's going to shift over to the 4th fret. So it's going to shift out of position, which is kind of goofy. We have the first finger on 4, second finger on the 5th fret, pinky on the 7th fret. So for the first octave you have 5 to 8, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 7. Okay, and then as we continue on after that, for the G string, this is the beauty of the scale, the G, the B, and the high E are all the same shape. It's going to be the 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret. So first finger, third finger, pinky, all the way down. That's the main part of the scale we're going to use for this lick. So here's the whole scale one more time. And then backwards. Now, very important, when you're going backwards with the scale, if you're practicing, when you get to that D string, with the pinky leading the way, make sure when you go to the A string, it's the 3rd finger. A lot of people, when I've taught this scale, they go to the pinky there, and all of a sudden they end up with pinky, 3rd, 2nd, and it's like, no. So pinky, 2nd, 1st on the D string, then 3rd finger, a little bit of a reach here, but 7th fret, 3rd finger. Very important that you keep the fingering the same as you go up and down the scale. You want to keep your batting stance the same in a way. So now this scale can fit over a few different types of chords. I was just using an open A power chord, like a rock A pattern. So what I was doing was the visual was linking the A on the 5th fret here with the scale. Alright, so that's kind of where I want to do. If you didn't want to do the open A, and you want to get even more of a visual, you can just do an A power chord on the 5th fret, which would just be the first finger, third finger is the 5th away, which is over 2 frets, down 1 string, so 5, 7, and then the pinky on the 7th fret, which is the octave of the first finger. So now here's the meat and potatoes of this shred lick. So we're starting off with a bend on the B string note, the end note of the scale. So now normally it's played with the pinky, but since we're bending, I'm using my my 3rd finger. I'm going to back that up with the 2nd and the 1st. So first finger is just laying flat, blocking the G string and the D if it rings or gets hit by the other fingers. I'm going to bend to the full step, so I want to make that note sound like the 5th fret on my high E string. That's the idea, alright? I'm just going to wail that note. If I want to get kind of salty, I could throw a little bit of vibrato on that, which is probably subject for another video, but in a sense, just try not to let the note fall below your tension. So when you hit that peak of the bend and you put in vibrato, you go a little higher than the actual note, then right back to your tension spot. So you don't want to be like this and have it die down. You want to keep the bend, go a little higher, that sort of thing. And when you put it into speed, that's where you get that cool vibrato sound. So the sequence, we're starting with that first bend. Then here's where we walk it. So we're going to start with the pinky note on the high E string. And it's going to be basically 2 pull-offs. Now when I do the pull-offs, I'm not planting my fingers down. I have only my pinky with 1 pick attack. And as I pull the pinky off, my 3rd finger is going to come and hammer on the 7th fret. So I'm walking that finger. I'm not putting both fingers down. Very important. So I basically do a pull off with the pinky, hammer on with the third finger. Do the same thing to the 5th fret with the first finger. So you have 3 notes there with only 1 pick attack. Then I grab the pinky note on the B string. So there's my first 4 notes. Alright, now I start off with the first finger on the high E string. Now I'm going to do my next series of 4 notes. This is going to be a hit there, then the pinky on the B string. I'm going to pull off to the 7th fret on that same string, and then pull off to the 5th fret. So there's the 4 notes there. Pick, pick, pull off, pull off. So far I have this. Alright, so what we're doing is basically this grouping of 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our main sequence. I'm going to apply that same idea to the next set of strings. So I'm going to start with the pinky on the B string. I do my 2 pull-offs, so pinky, the 7th fret, the 5th fret. Then I grab the 8th fret with the pinky on the G string. That's my 4 notes there. To the first finger on the B, 5th fret. This is the start of my next 4 notes. To the pinky on the G string, pull off to the 3rd finger on the 7th fret, pull off to the 1st finger on the 5th fret. So here's the whole thing so far. One more time. And the last part of this, look, we're starting with the pinky, doing our 4 notes, so we'll pull off from pinky, the 3rd finger, the 1st finger. This time I'm going to the 7th fret with the 3rd finger. This is the D string. So that's my group of 4 notes. Then I'm going to roll down the 3rd finger to the 7th fret in the G string. So after that note, I'm going to go right here, do a pull off to the 5th fret. So I have that. Then the D string, 7th fret with the 3rd finger. I'm going to pull off 7 to 5, then hammer right back on the 7, and that ends my lick. So here's the whole thing nice and slow. And sometimes for that last lick I might pick it, so I'll do like this sort of thing. Just get a nice strong vibrato on that. Alright, so it's a pretty complicated pattern, but if you break it down into groups of 4 notes and learn it that way, you'll see that there's a lot of recycling. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All over that A chord. Whether it's the rock A or the power chord A. So what you want to do is you want to start off with learning that on the A, just nice and slow, making sure that when you do the pull-offs, you're not planting fingers down. You want only 1 finger down on the fretboard at a time. Very, very important. The rest of your fingers should stay kind of close, ready to hammer on as the other finger pulls off. So once you have the pattern down, you can take that, like I was doing in the beginning of the video, and I would hit low E chord, and move the whole pattern up to the 12th fret. So if I ran my scale, I had the same exact pattern. So I hit the low E, I start with that bend on the B string, and I did my sequence. Same thing. And then I did an open D, kind of rock power chord on a D chord. Went to my 10th fret for the D. Here's the scale. Same sequence. Start with the bend, and then the sequence. So the main challenge besides just walking the pattern is making sure that you really follow up with those pull-offs, you know, keeping only one finger down at a time. And with the pick, you can hear the pick attack as I'm playing the lick. I'm not picking every note, obviously, because there's a lot of hammers and pull-offs, so make sure you watch when you're crossing strings to have a quick pick here and there to keep an eye out for it. All right. Hopefully you had fun with that sequence. It's challenging, but still visual. Keep counting those fours, put the sequence together. Make sure you subscribe. Plenty of cool stuff coming. Check out Crazy Mo Guitar. This is Matt Quistorf for the 80s. Signing out.